Imagine a battle that defied all odds, a clash where the brilliance of leadership, the ferocity of warriors, and the unyielding spirit of a people changed the course of history. This is the story of the Battle of the Little Bighorn, not just as history remembers it, but as it was lived and witnessed by the Lakota, Cheyenne, and their legendary leader, Crazy Horse. Who were they? They were the defenders of their land, their culture, and their way of life. Crazy Horse, the fearless Oglala Lakota warrior, whose tactical genius and unwavering courage became the stuff of legend. The Lakota and Cheyenne warriors, fierce and united, stood against the might of the U.S. 7th Cavalry in one of the most iconic battles of the American West. But this isn't just a story of victory. It's a story of survival, resistance, and the eyewitness accounts that bring this pivotal moment to life. What did the warriors see? What strategies did Crazy Horse employ? And how did this battle echo through the ages? Join me as we dive into the untold perspectives of the Lakota and Cheyenne warriors, the true brilliance behind the Battle of the Little Bighorn. June 25th, 1876, a day that would echo through history. On the banks of the Little Bighorn River, a battle unfolded that would defy all expectations. It wasn't just a clash of armies, it was a fight for survival, for land, and for a way of life. This is the story of Crazy Horse and the Lakota Cheyenne alliance, whose brilliance and bravery turned the tide against one of the most formidable forces of the time. But who are they? And why does their legacy still resonate today? Welcome to Native Legacy, where we honor the untold stories of Indigenous peoples. Today, we set the record straight, diving into the history, culture, and brilliance of Crazy Horse and the Lakota Cheyenne in the Battle of the Little Bighorn. To understand the Battle of the Little Bighorn, we must first understand the people at its heart. Crazy Horse, or Thaswing Witko in Lakota, was more than a warrior, he was a visionary leader. Born around 1840, he grew up in the shadow of increasing conflict as the U.S. government sought to expand westward. Crazy Horse was known for his humility, his fierce independence, and his unmatched skill in battle. But he was also a protector of his people, deeply committed to preserving the Lakota way of life. The Lakota, part of the Greater Sioux Nation, and their allies, the Northern Cheyenne, were nomadic peoples of the Great Plains. Their lives revolved around the buffalo, the land, and their spiritual traditions. But by the mid-19th century, their way of life was under threat. Treaties were broken, lands were stolen, and the U.S. military began to push them onto reservations. For the Lakota and Cheyenne, resistance wasn't just an option, it was a necessity. The discovery of gold in the Black Hills, sacred land to the Lakota, sparked a wave of settlers and soldiers. The U.S. government demanded the Lakota sell their land, but leaders like Crazy Horse and Sitting Bull refused. This defiance set the stage for one of the most dramatic confrontations in American history. By the summer of 1876, tensions had reached a boiling point. The U.S. Army launched a campaign to force the Lakota and Cheyenne onto reservations. But the tribes were not alone, they were united. Under the leadership of Sitting Bull, a Hunkpapa Lakota holy man, and Crazy Horse, a coalition of Lakota, Cheyenne, and Arapaho warriors gathered near the Little Bighorn River. Sitting Bull had seen a vision of soldiers falling like grasshoppers from the sky, a sign of victory. The encampment was massive, with an estimated 7,000 to 10,000 people, including 1,500 to 2,000 warriors. It was a community, a living, breathing testament to the strength and unity of the Lakota and Cheyenne. But their peace would soon be shattered. On June 25, 1876, Lieutenant Colonel George Custer and the 7th Cavalry launched a surprise attack on the encampment. Custer, confident in his superior firepower, split his forces, hoping to surround the village. But he underestimated his opponents. Crazy Horse, with his keen tactical mind, saw an opportunity. Crazy Horse led a daring flanking maneuver, surrounding Custer's men and cutting off their retreat. The Lakota and Cheyenne warriors, fighting with unmatched ferocity, overwhelmed the 7th Cavalry. In less than an hour, Custer and his men were defeated. It was a stunning victory, one that would become known as Custer's Last Stand. But this victory was more than just a military triumph. It was a testament to the leadership of Crazy Horse, the unity of the Lakota and Cheyenne, and their unwavering commitment to defending their land and way of life. The victory at Little Bighorn was short-lived. The U.S. government, determined to crush Indigenous resistance, intensified its efforts. Within a year, many of the Lakota and Cheyenne were forced onto reservations. Crazy Horse himself surrendered in 1877, only to be killed under suspicious circumstances while in custody. Yet, the legacy of Crazy Horse and the Lakota Cheyenne lives on. Their bravery, their brilliance, and their resistance continue to inspire. The Battle of the Little Bighorn is not just a story of conflict. It's a story of resilience, culture, and the enduring spirit of Indigenous peoples. Join us next time on Native Legacy as we continue to explore the untold stories of Indigenous history. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to honor these stories and keep them alive. Until then, remember, history is not just about the past. It's about understanding who we are today